2025 has thrown up some fantastic driver options. And in today's video, we're going to look at two of the best that potentially you can buy. That's right, guys, we are of course talking about the brand new Ping G440 LST driver and the all singing, all dancing TaylorMade Qi35 LS. Guys, which driver is going to perform the best for me? Which could potentially perform the best for you? We're going to test them out here on the golf course and of course in the studio for numbers. Without any further ado, let's see what's the best driver of 2025. So potentially these could be the best two drivers of 2025. We're well aware of that. We've seen the reviews. We know that the TaylorMade Qi35 LS driver is potentially the longest out there for certain golfers. If you need that specific flight window, if you need that slightly lowered spin rate, but it's also not going to potentially be the most forgiving of drivers, which again, we all know. When it comes to the Ping G440 LS Tech, does that cover the bases that the TaylorMade misses? That's what we're going to hopefully find out in today's video. So I took this driver to Orlando for our annual PGA trip and we played some rather fantastic courses. As you'll see on screen, I got on with it and it performed really, really nicely. The reason why I liked it was the forgiveness element, yet still finding that low spin. That's where I think Ping potentially are ticking all those boxes for so many golfers. But we need to give the TaylorMade a fair chance to see if it can do just that as well, because TaylorMade's claims this year of that lowered CG yet enhanced MOI that kind of covers all bases is precisely what they're trying to do in both clubs. So, Bobby, Ping first, yeah? We actually hit some draws, didn't we, in America, which was frightening, but... So guys, this video is proudly supported by the guys over at Golf Gear Giveaways. Now, Golf Gear Giveaways do have a very special giveaway coming up. There are 5,000 tickets and 5,000 prizes, which means everybody is a winner, and they are from as little as just £5 each. You can get an extra 20% off using the code JR20, and how else can you get a guaranteed prize for just £4? There's some of the world's best golf equipment on there, so make sure you go and check it out. I'm mega excited to once again partner with the guys over at Golf Gear Giveaways, and there's a total value of prizes of over £35,000. Each ticket goes into the jackpot live draw, and the prizes do include a custom fit full set, custom fit wood sets, custom fit iron sets, custom fit drivers, custom fit wedges, custom fit putters, and of course many more. Now let's get back out there and see exactly which is the best driver, but I might enter that myself because everybody wins. Let's go. So turbulator's on top, not the best looking driver on top for me, but you can forgive that with the performance. Lovely carbon top. I mean, straight away, that's frighteningly good, isn't it? It's early on today. We've not really had the warm-up that you should have being a professional. We've got out of the car and had a coffee and then come out here. But that is what's making me very quickly fall in love with this driver in 2025. And if you are in the market, first of all, I recommend you go and try them, but also it just does everything for me. That carbon fly wrap does make it look a little bit better on top for me. I personally think the turbulators are a bit much. Have I chipped one there? I've chipped a turbulator, look. Oh no! Do you have to get a dentist to sort that out, or what would I do there? I don't know. I mean, I must admit, there's one there as well, and I look after... That was a buggy one, yeah. But I look after golf clubs, I do, and that's already a little bit of a markdown, isn't it, I suppose, for it? I mean, it could have happened anywhere. We don't know. We've been abroad, we've been on aeroplanes and automobiles and all sorts of things, so and things happen, but obviously with the Ping we do have that movable weight at the back there, so the tungsten weight, we can put it in fade, draw or neutral. I like to keep those things in neutral because I just think you're trying to hit it out the middle of the face, aren't you? So that's where you're going to get the optimum performance out of it. Can we hit the same again? I mean, realistically, that's frightening. Like, if this was a review now of this Ping, I'm almost tired of doing reviews of this because every time I do just hit it well. And I've been working on my game. We had a lesson off Mr. Ledbetter the other day, so thank you very much, David, for that. Much needed. And I keep watching, that video isn't out yet, but I keep watching it back in my head. But when we look at the differences between these two clubs, so there's a huge carbon element here, not just a carbon footprint, but carbon as in the material, a triaxial carbon. You can see with the Qi35, there's a load of carbon on this bottom plate here. That is to allow TaylorMade to put that weight specifically where they want it. So we have movable weights in the front here, and of course, move the weight in the back. That's why we have this little kind of diamond here, so you can show exactly where those weights can be moved around. We have that through slot speed pocket in the bottom, which can potentially help us with ball speeds on low face hits. And we of course have that lovely blacked out carbon face that morphs into the infinity crown with that little etching to show you where the top line is. So as a looking driver, I think this looks fantastic. I think it looks great. A lot of people are telling me this is the best looking driver of the year. I liked the look of the old one, and I think it's a case of, you know, when you see a new car come to the market and you're like, oh, but then like in 2 months' time you like it. Like the first time BMW brought them awful grills out on the M3 and 4, and everyone was like, oh my God, what have BMW done? And then eventually everyone just liked them, so they're now normal. I think that's where we're going with this. It looks very sim-like. Remember the Shape in Motion driver? Very similar to that, with that kind of coloured top, and of course with the inertia generator on the back. Right, TaylorMade. 2 swings the same, and we'll get down there and see what the differences are. It does look good down at the ball. It looks very simplistic. You know what? That was an awful strike, and that's done incredibly well. And this is where, when we start to talk about forgiving drivers this year or unforgiving drivers this year in the case of the low spin models, the brands know they have to do better when it comes to forgiveness. Callaway nailed it a couple of years ago with the standard Paradigm Triple Diamond, because you could hit it out the toe, you'd still generate a good launch and an okay spin rate. That's exactly what I've just done with the TaylorMade. So TaylorMade, I'm going to say well done on that one, because that one probably wasn't my best shot. Well, it definitely wasn't my best swing, but the shot's in play, it's okay. It's still down there, probably pitching 260-ish and running out to whatever we get lucky with. Let's have a good one now. Try and take that same line that we had and see just how good this TaylorMade is, and that's an absolute missile, by the way, as well. Sound-wise, it's amazing how these drivers sound so different, but I think if you are a TaylorMade fan, you'll like it. I think if you're a Ping fan, you'll like it. So they're kind of ticking off the boxes for the fans that they want to hear. Let's get down there and see where they've finished. So shelf appeal with these 2 drivers is going to be huge as well. Both TaylorMade and Ping will generally spend a lot of money when it comes to the marketing of pro shop appeal and point of sale and all those things. But I think the head cover game is quite strong on both the drivers as well. Interestingly, they've kind of both gone back to a colour scheme of later years or earlier years. But I suppose there's only so many colours and schemes and names you can go with. A lot of people are saying that the Ping G440 just looks like the Ping G. A lot of people are saying the TaylorMade Qi35 just looks like the TaylorMade Sim. And I think, I don't mind that, because if you try and go too out there, you end up getting like a jet speed or an aero burner. Nobody wants that anymore, do they? Right, so first hole, TaylorMade the first shot here, which only I can probably tell you how badly I struck that. It really wasn't good. That's done phenomenally well. The second TaylorMade is just towards the corner, and again, that was better struck, but again, not as well struck as the Pings. Both the Pings around the corner kind of thing. So we've got one 5 yards in front, and I think the second Ping I hit was absolutely nuked. That's just down there, both in the rough, but with par 5, I would try and take the corner on. So we're going to give the first hole the Ping here. Let's see if we can put some better swings on the TaylorMade and see potentially, I think, to be honest, we've kind of got 2 winners here, because I hit that TaylorMade so badly. For it to be here and still have a go at the par 5 in 2 is pretty exciting. But let's see just what we can put on that TaylorMade before we jump inside and talk some numbers. Right, round 1 to the Ping. And I think, you know what, probably a little bit unfair, because I've spent more time with the Ping. You know what, Bobby, this is really impressionable, but the Ping's actually under there. I put the first one on wrong, and I thought I'm not taking off and on. But I've spent a lot of time with the Ping, so probably a little bit unfair. Realistically, let's go TaylorMade first here, because what really impressed me with the TaylorMade Qi35 range this year was that kind of core drive, the middle of the pack drive, where you could move the weights front and back, so you could turn it into a low spin yet forgiving driver. So realistically, when it comes to this LS version, how many people are going to be in the market for this? It does look, for me, more pleasing to the eye down at the ball. That's just a personal preference. A lot of people will prefer that slightly bigger looking head, but I think that really looking at this, apart from your tour pros, maybe your scratch golfers, maybe even, that's probably going to be it really, maybe your really low handicappers where driver is your forte, who is going to be in this driver, realistically, getting fitted into it? Did you go LS last year, or did you go normal in QI? You couldn't hit the but you striped the Qi10, didn't you? Striped it, right. Just up that right hand side, Bob. I do feel like when you get this right, the kind of pleasure element of it, like that, is like second to none. That felt fantastic. I think it's exactly where I've aimed up the right hand side. I can't really tell for the sun, but no, we'll take it as a shot. And that sound, the TaylorMade does sound very different when you get it out the middle. Like that was there. That was exactly where you want it for that kind of head, whereas the other two I hit were a little bit toey and sounded a little bit not quite as good, which I think is going to be the case, isn't it? The person who wants this driver wants a forgiveness element, but also wants that feedback. Right, same again. That's the little kind of toey one, that's low. It's down the left-hand side of the fairway, but it's not too bad comparative to potentially where you could be hitting it. So they sounded to me totally different. And again, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all. Let's go ping now. We're going to aim same location, try and get it just down the right-hand side of this fairway. That's the kind of shoot of it, you know, where you really want to be kind of aiming. The amazing thing about the pings is you can't really... That's so good. That's splitting those two bunkers, Bob. You can't really tell the difference between the LS Tech and the G440 Max. Like that should just be called the G440. To be brutally honest, I very much doubt there'll be a G440 10K Max coming out because, as I said in my reviews of the Ping, I think Ping were a little disingenuous last year when it came to the G435 and the 10K Max and all that because it didn't really make a lot of sense. G430? There wasn't a G435, was there? Or was there? G430. But you look at these drivers now looking down and you can't tell a difference between the LS and the normal. And I think that's fantastic because you could quite easily use the normal and get the benefits because that's still going to be an okay low spin head with it having that carbon fly wrap. I feel so at home with this driver though, I must say. It's just, I don't know, it's something about it, isn't there? And I've not been a Ping guy when it comes to drivers, well, to be honest, ever. But maybe 2025 is the year of the Ping. Who knows? So 4 shots there, neck and neck. We have one just behind Bobby there, bang smack in the middle of the fairway. That was the first Ping that we hit. Then we have 3 balls scattered down here, another one in the fairway, which I believe was the first TaylorMade, and then 2 in the rough, again, a Ping and a TaylorMade. Very tough to kind of split those here, and I think this is where we're going to start to get a good idea of where this video is going to go, because both these drivers, I think, if you're looking for a low spinning head that potentially can offer a little bit of forgiveness, we're going to be in the realms of either of these two drivers. Let's look inside, let's see just exactly what the fine differences are when it comes to the numbers between these two clubs, and then of course let's jump back out here and we're going to have a neck and neck one shot only match, because when it comes to golf you often only get one chance, so buckle up. So neck and neck inside once again with these true drivers, with these two drivers. And I think for me, it kind of stands that there are some fantastic clubs out this year. And if you go and get fitted and get them in your specs like these are for me, then there's always going to be something out there for you. But we need a winner, Bob, don't we? So TaylorMade first. Got to be in the fairway to count, do you think, or not? Right, that changes things. Oh, that's good, but it's just left. That's that toey one that still gets you the distance and still has a nice spin. I think that's just going to be in the rough, but we've been known to miss a fairway or two with this one as well, so not many, you're right, but trying the same swing, nice and attacking. That is so good, isn't it? Guys, it's come down to the final drive of the day, but Ping versus TaylorMade. I'm going to give it the Ping G440 LST. Guys, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you do smash that subscribe button below. Lots more driver comparisons to come, so make sure you throw a like on this video. And apart from that, I'll see you all exactly the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.